For the web tutorials, I had the chance to try some 5 web tutorials. The first one is very easy for beginners. It's called Careproof. It's Careproof, K-E-R-P-R-O-F. It's actually for beginners. It allows students to create a picture, then build a story around the picture. Or, for instance, they already know the story and try to choose the pictures that rhyme with that story, that match with that story. That's the easiest one. There's also Listen and Write. This is for spelling. It's actually students listen to the dialogue or a kind of text. And we have actually different choices. Either they listen to the whole script and then they write it all at once, or they can listen to chunks, or students just fill in with some words. You have to choose the modes. We have from easy to intermediate and advanced. It depends on the level of students. There's also a web tutorial called Wall Wisher. It's a wall. We said you build the wall. It's actually you post wishes. It's not only about your wishes. It could be used, first of all, posting your wishes. It could be also used to post, talking about your celebrities, etc. It could be used also as creating debates between students. It could be also used as a treasure hunt. A teacher can provide them with some resource links when they're dealing with a kind of treasure hunt game. It could be also used as a theme-based wall when they are talking about a certain concept. Depending on what they're talking about, it could be environment, it could be pollution, it could be whatever. Another web tutorial is Wordle. I'm sure that many teachers here know Wordle. So we can use it differently. For instance, it could be used as a text comparison. The teacher may choose 2 paragraphs. You can work on different genres. It could work on articles, on poems, on dialogues, on plays too. The last one is Devolver, which I like very much. It's actually students choose the scene, choose the background, choose the character, choose what they say. It's really interesting. It could be used to work on review or practice some social, I would say, expressions. It could be used for vocabulary. It could be used to practice grammar. Since we're talking about writing, it could be used to create conversation around essay concepts. It could be also used to tell jokes. We have different characters telling jokes, or you choose the scene and then you build up. This is actually, it gives students the chance to use their creativity and imagination much better, and they can come up with different stories and then they share them together. Thank you.
It's a website that helps you write your day-to-day journals and diaries. Many students write or keep their day-to-day journals in Arabic and some of them in French. It's a good way to encourage them to write in English, and it makes difference when you write about real things. You can see that when you ask students to write about something, or you say, imagine that it's really hard, but when you write from things that are real and they have just happened, so it's easy, and it's an interesting tool that I discovered through the last service they provided us recently. Thank you.
So one of the interesting features is that students can add pictures. So for example, for beginners, you can tell them to write about their idols, their favorite stars. So say, my favorite football star is Messi, and they can attach a picture of the stars to the writing, which is very good. They can also share that, as you said, with other people in Morocco or abroad. Sharing is important. So what's that? Right? Yes. Please. Where?
I just used a very simple tool. It's just PowerPoint.
Very good.
And normally we have a lesson in class. The students talk about their families. I asked them to bring photos of their families. And they write, this is my father, he's a teacher, and this is my sister, and then they write under each picture, and it's at the same time writing and presentation. The other students just ask them, how old is your sister, what does she do, what she like, etc. And the answer, and it does work very well. Yes.
Presentational skills as well.
Yes.
It's very easy. It's called Picklets, and it allows you to create a story or to write a story based on the parts of speech that are given here on the website. So you have nouns, adjectives, adverbs, verbs, and everything. You just have to drag and drop, and then create the whole story. It's so simple. Okay.
This just means that you shouldn't blame your students. I've got that class, they are really troublemakers. I can't get them to shut up. This is what we complain about. Okay.
Okay, it's a good tool first because it's very practical, and you can just paste your students' piece of work and write the title and the grade, and they can correct it from A to Z. It's a very useful one, and they can even give you some kind of statistics about students, how they can use, do they use the correct words or good words, is it literary or scientific, all this stuff. It's very practical, it's very nice.
So the tool I tried out was interesting. It was simple and practical. Its name is Easy Student Publishing. Easy Student Publishing. So the principle is you just paste a text or a story from the web, and with tools like color selection and size and movement and rotation, you can use it, you can publish it on the web. So I think, so you can use different colors and different indexes. Thank you so much.
I would like to add about the writer is that it takes also plagiarism.
Yeah.
It teaches grammar. That's plagiarism. Very good.
So I tried writing prompts.
What is it?
Writing prompts.
Writing prompts.
So if you really don't want to look for prompts for yourself, you have a list of prompts, writing prompts. In general, you have quotations. You have, as we were talking with my group, we said you have to adapt them to your class and students.
So what is it? Writing prompts.
Writing prompts. So you have a list of prompts. You choose one and then you try to use it as a writing activity with students. We have seen one that talks about how do people see you, how do you see yourself. Maybe you can do it with teachers. How do you think your teachers see you as a person? How do you see your teachers? And it will work well if they work in groups. But it's true that sometimes it's very hard to find the right prompts. So here you have a list. It's easy. You have to choose and adapt to your class and your students' levels.
Its name is simplebooklet.com. You just need an email and a password and you can log in. You have pages, a lot of pages which you can edit. You can write anything you want and you can write it in any way you want. You can also include pictures, okay? And you can also include a video, for example, a YouTube video or a link to a website here. You can also turn the writing as ever you want, and of course on the right, when you want to edit, you are going to find on the right a bar which you can use to do a lot of things with your text or with your images. And of course you can include a web page inside inside this booklet, a complete web page. And you can browse through the web page, of course, here, for example, as you see. It's It's very simple. And finally, once finished, if you want to write another booklet, you just start over again. Thank you.
It's a research paper.
The web tool I have used is called Mixed Book, as you can see here. Okay. Can you see? Mixed Book. Mixed Book. All you have to do is upload pictures from your any picture you want from your laptop, from your library. Then after that you can create a story. Okay. You can create a story. For example, this one I call Only and the Aliens. Okay. This is okay. Then I click on the next page. Then you have the pictures. You have the picture, and then for example, this. Look at the next picture. Where am I? That's that one. Then you create a story. Next. Okay. Okay. Done with this. Yes. Yes. That's my song. Yes. Anyway, you can create a story with your own picture. This is ideal, I think, for cultural students and the first year.
Much. I would like to thank Sidi Ibrahim for his very interesting tool. A similar one to the tool we just watched is Storybird. It allows you to let students make their own stories using different pictures and some brief sentences. The one I choose here for you is Toonlit. Toonlit is a website that allows you to create cartoons. We talked about our students relating to writing, and we are looking for things to make them motivated and enjoy writing. So Toonlit will let your students enjoy writing and start with short sentences. With instead of telling them create a dialogue in the old way, just give them this tool to enable them to create their cartoons and enjoy learning English. Thank you very much.
While I was browsing the links that Mr. Zoubair has provided us with, I found an important topic to write about is how to write a memorandum. Memorandums are just national, international, or local events. You have to glean data about them and just write as easy as you can. That's it.
With X at the end. It helps you to create your comic stories, right? It gives you up to four zones where you can create different episodes. So you can select from a wide range of characters. You can select one character. Once you click on the character, it gives you this character in different positions doing different things. Then you can choose. And then you can choose a setting, the time, the place, right? And it gives you the bubble words, right? For in which you can write your dialogues, thoughts. So it gives students the opportunity to create their comic story. It's really interesting. Once you finish, you can print it or you can save it on your email, right?
Comics.
Fifth link. This one. Number 5. Number 5, and you look for comics with X at the end. Comics. Yes, X at the end. Thank you.
Apart from the fact that students can choose a picture and write a story about it and post it, then compare it with other students from different countries. Okay, compare the stories with. They can open an account and they can share the stories with other students from different parts of the world. Also, students who cannot write, they are given a chance here. Students who are really good at drawing, they can draw a picture and post it and invite other students to write stories about their own pictures. And it's also another important for teachers. I think this one we like it a lot, which is daily writing tips for teachers who would like really tests Okay, so quizzes, vocabulary, grammar, underwriting, listening, reading, everything. Yeah, very rich.
This is the one from the Harvard website?
Yes, it's on here. What is it? Daily writing tips.
Good.
Yeah, daily writing tips.
So you can register for free every day.
Yeah.
You get a writing tip to your email box.
Not only for us, okay, vocabulary, grammar, listening, writing, everything. Yeah.
Thank you. No, just okay, what video taping you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
All right, okay. All right, I just want to add one other that when I was writing here, I was hearing there's a problem sometimes when students are writing, but they're actually plagiarizing from Wikipedia. So instead of fighting Wikipedia, embrace it. For example, you can have your students produce a Wikipedia page for your school. I know the Agadir page in Wikipedia is very insufficient, so you can have things about your organizations, student clubs. But Agadir, can you imagine having students working together with their social studies teacher to write a history of some aspect of Agadir? So this is project oriented, and it will be a final task that might take weeks to create something, going through all the process of research, of editing, and finally publication, so the world can see it. So that might work.